Oh, we're good. Hey, what's going on? Charles Austin here, and let's be fit forever. Today, real quick, or actually tonight, it's evening now. I wanted to, I guess, a little briefly discuss diabetes and how we can eliminate that uh, without using medication. Okay. Now, if you are new to the channel, please make sure you're always hitting that like button and subscribe so you can always be up to date on the latest videos that I'll be posting here, helping you stay fit forever. Okay. The other night I was watching TV, as I do on evenings here and there, and I saw a commercial that I've seen dozens of times, and it was another one of those commercials advertising drugs, and medication, right, to treat an illness. And y'all have seen them before, right? The commercials where they'll ask you questions like, do you struggle sleeping at night? Do you have frequent headaches? So on and so forth, right? And this particular one happened to be about diabetes, right? And they started describing all the many ways that this medication can help treat your diabetes, right? And after they started telling you, hey, we can do this, we can do that, we can reduce your blood sugar, we can reduce your dependence on insulin, and all these different things, right? And once they started getting to the side effects of the actual medication, the list is staggering, as it always is. But the thing that they always do is they will show someone running on the beach while they're listing all these side effects, or somebody's riding a bike, or they're having dinner with the family. Whatever it is, they're extremely happy while they are listing all of these side effects. Okay. And it got me thinking. I just say, for years, I've been, helping clients uh, get off of medication, for things like hypertension, high cholesterol, and diabetes. So I've done this before, right? And I said, you know what? I've had enough. I'm gonna go ahead and start streaming again. And why not start right here? So I wanted to talk a little bit tonight about how we can eliminate diabetes without expensive medication and without all the side effects. Okay. Now, as always, this information is provided for entertainment purposes only, and please always consult a physician or qualified health care professional before making any changes to your diet or medication. Okay. But before we jump into this, real quick, what I did want to do is go ahead and at least oh, wrong. There we go. Want to at least define exactly what diabetes is, right? So here we are on Harvard Medical School. Sounds like a reputable uh, university to me, right? And basically, for those who don't know, and I'm sure if you happen to check out this video at some point and you are suffering from type 2 diabetes, you probably already know these things, right? But then again, if we just look here again, type 2 diabetes is a chronic disease characterized by high levels of blood sugar. Type 2 diabetes is also called type 2 diabetes mellitus and adult onset diabetes. Now, this term here, we really don't use this anymore. Why? Well, generally, or I guess we used to use this term when diabetes just kind of affected adults. But now, more and more, unfortunately, we're starting to see diabetes in children, and they're getting younger and younger. So we generally don't use that term, okay? Um, and there it is right here. It started almost as always in middle to late adulthood, but again, more and more children and teens are developing this condition, okay? So I hadn't even read that part, but there it is right there, okay? Um, so, um, and then if we scroll here, or this is not the right one? I think it's on a different side. But anyway, that's type 2 diabetes and some of the issues that diabetics may deal with. include things like blurry vision or vision loss. You may have increased blood pressure, hardening of your arteries, decreased blood flow to lower limbs, which may cause nerve damage, could cause tissue damage. You may have heard, if anybody out there has a family member, unfortunately, that may be struggling with this, they may have had amputations before, just because of that nerve damage and that tissue damage because of the difficulty with the blood circulation to different parts of the body. So, there's a laundry list of things that are associated with type 2 diabetes. I'm not really here to list all of those tonight. But take it from, trust me, it's not something that you want to deal with, okay? So, again, generally, when we are getting ready to figure out, okay, so what are we going to do? We understand that, hey, yes, my blood sugar is high. I've been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Okay, what kind of drug should I get? Okay, that's generally the first thing that happens. And it doesn't even have to be diabetes, right? Generally, when we are struggling with some type of illness, infection, if something hurts, if it's just as simple as a headache, the first thing we normally do is we go straight to medication. Okay, and again, I want to cover some things, some alternatives to medication. Okay, so again, if we go here, I just wanted to list some of the most common medications for diabetes, right? And I want to go over some of the side effects here too as well. But you know, the first thing is look at the numbers, right? Look at the numbers. 34.2 million Americans have diabetes. Um, and if you look here, another 88 million uh, are pre-diabetic, and this just basically means that your your glucose levels are getting close to the levels to where now you may be diagnosed as a diabetic. Okay. Um, Now, and I just want to be clear, we are talking about type 2 diabetes tonight. So, if you were, we're not talking type 1. Remember, there are two types of diabetes here. But as we look down the list here, it's a long list. And this is something that I found quite interesting and kind of staggering a little bit. Um, we just go through these. Here's one, here's another, glycinase. I mean, here's another one, another one, another one, another one, another one, another one. I mean, the list goes on, right? And what I found interesting is that there's so many drugs, right? And this is one site here. And if we go here to another one, again, I'm on Healthline here on this site. And and yeah, I don't accept the cookies. I always keep that off. Don't accept the cookies. Um, Again, and this is type 1, so we're going to scroll down to where we get to type 2. There we go. So again, look, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. I'm trying not to scroll too fast here. There's so many. And I started thinking, I said, well, and look, this is just a category, as you can see right here. This is a category of drugs. And look, there's a bunch of different ones inside a category of drugs. As you can see, there's so many. And it just got me thinking, like, this is a lot of different drugs just to treat type 2 diabetes. And yes, are we all different? Do our bodies all work differently? Absolutely, right? Absolutely. But man, this is a lot of drugs. And if you think about this, who's benefiting from this? Okay, I can tell you number one, uh, most likely it's not the patient. Okay, most likely it's not the patient's family. It's not the patient's health most of the time. It's the companies that make these drugs, right? Um, they're getting top dollar because diabetes is a big deal, and people have no choice, or do they? Maybe we'll talk about that here in just a second. But so on that point, you know, look at the cost, and look, this is coming directly from the American Diabetes Association, and we're just talking about the cost. Okay, the cost of diabetes. Okay, Now, if we just look at some of the costs to the country itself, $327 billion spent on diabetes, right? Okay. Now, $1 in every $7 is spent on treating diabetes. So we're talking about the medication, hospitalizations, treatments, all that kind of stuff. Okay. And let's see, I know I read earlier here, there was a spot where we talked about the cost. Um, Here we go. Look, the largest components of the medical expenditures, prescription medications account for 30%. Okay, all you need to do is do the math on the amount of money, 30% of 300 and is that the number, right? 327 billion and 30% of that is spent on medications. Okay? So look at the cost to the individuals, right? And this is you. Okay? If you're somebody who's suffering from diabetes, we can see it right here. Again, look, we're looking at the American Diabetes Association site. They're giving you this information. People with diagnosed diabetes incur an average medical expenditure of $16,000 per year. Let that sink in. And start asking yourself, what could I do with another almost $17,000 in my pocket? Okay. 16,000. Okay. Here we go again. On average, higher than it would be if they didn't have diabetes alone. Okay. So again, not only is this disease, detrimental to your health, but it can be detrimental to your wallet, your purse, your savings as well. Okay, so it's a big deal. All right. So wanted to show you this now before we move on to some natural treatments here. These are again. Now look, we're on the Mayo Clinic, and shout out to them. Like I love Mayo Clinic. Like they, anytime I need to get some quick information on something associated with health, nutrition, medical, whatever it may be, I love going there. It's a great place to go. But again, another reputable site here, and we're talking about the medications again. So we've already talked about how many different ones there are. There's so many. Who's getting that money? How much money does it cost? We talked about how expensive it can be. Well, here I want to kind of talk about the side effects, right? And then again, this goes back to in the intro when I started talking about you've seen those commercials, right? You've seen those commercials. And there's so many side effects, okay? But the thing they always do to distract you, and make sure y'all pay attention to this, they're always distracting you with sunny beach, dinner table, riding bikes through the forest, swimming in the swimming pool, whatever. It's always some type of distraction, right? So if we look here, and I'm not going to specifically look at each medication, I don't think, but possible side effects, weight gain. Now, I think this pops up on some other ones here again. If we go back to, was it this site here? Was it this one here? I can't remember. Here we go, right here. Look at this, y'all. So for adults diagnosed with diabetes, okay, 89% are overweight. 89%. Okay? So this is clearly showing that being overweight, carrying too much body fat, makes it a little bit more likely that you may develop diabetes. Okay? So again, we go back here and you're literally taking a drug to treat diabetes, and one of the side effects is weight gain. Okay? Here we go again, a different drug. Weight gain. So that's two already, that one of the side effects is gaining weight. Okay? Um, Now we got, things like upper respiratory tract infection. Now we got COVID going on right now. The last thing you want is more susceptibility to respiratory infections. Okay? Um, Here we go. Uh, Kidney and liver failure. All right? Or actually, this is not causing kidney and liver. I think that's one of the other ones. Here we go. Heart failure. That's the one I was looking for. Heart failure, heart attack, and then look at this one. There's that one again. So now we've seen 3 out of 4 drugs, or 3 out of 5 drugs here, that the side effect is weight gain, and we already said weight gain or carrying too much weight. It's not good if you're trying to avoid suffering from diabetes. All right. Um, as we go here, urinary tract infections, genital infections. Are you serious? I don't want any of that, right? Um, as we continue to go on, uh, increase. Now, this one right here. This one kind of made me mad. I gotta be honest. I gotta be honest, y'all. Um, you're looking here at a drug to treat diabetes, and it increases your risk for an inflamed pancreas. So you're causing damage to your pancreas. Now, you got to keep in mind that, and if you don't know, there's no big deal, but your pancreas helps balance your blood sugar. That's one of its functions, helping to balance blood sugar levels with insulin. And you don't want to cause damage to your pancreas if you're already diabetic. And now we're talking about tumors. Okay? This is just a short list. The list is long, but that should be enough. Okay? So, again, let's review real quick before we go into some natural treatments before we wrap this thing up. But we've already discussed the fact that there's a lot of cases. All right, if we go back, there's lots and lots of cases of diabetes, right? And then we talked about how many of them are overweight. Then we're talking about physical inactivity, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, excuse me. And we've also seen the laundry list of medications. We've also talked about the cost. What was that number again? $327 billion spent on diabetes. And then you're talking about the fact that on average people have 2.3 times higher expenditures of healthcare costs than somebody who does not have diabetes. So it costs you your health, and it also costs your wallet. Okay? So you may be thinking about, you may be saying, hey, I'm not necessarily ready to go all in on making changes. Maybe I want to slowly wean myself off of the medication that I'm taking. Maybe I'm a little skeptical. Maybe I'm just not sure of what to do, right? Maybe you just say, hey, is there something that I can start doing tomorrow? Maybe I'm not ready to start exercising 5 days a week. Maybe I'm not ready to change my diet all the way, except fine. Let's start right there, okay? So if you look here, we're just talking about some regular things that you can start changing today, right? So here's some natural things that you can add into your daily routine, your daily diet tomorrow or right now to help start reducing or help start helping your diabetes and helping you with your blood sugar, right? So ginseng, okay, it's been shown multiple times. This is not anything new, okay? That can Ginseng can help improve your blood sugar control and your fasting glucose. Fasting glucose just means the glucose levels that you have without eating, okay? Um, so that's one thing. Chromium, easy. You can go to the store tomorrow, and you can get chromium tablets, and I believe it's in a lot of multivitamins as well. Okay, but it helps with fat metabolism and to properly respond to insulin. Again, insulin and blood sugar regulation, they go hand in hand. They're together. Okay, so the better your insulin sensitivity is, the better your blood glucose will be. Okay, um, magnesium again. Another thing that's a lot in multivitamins, if you're not taking multivitamins, that may be something to look into, but you can literally go and buy only magnesium, right? But look at some of the foods it's in. Green leafy vegetables, those never hurt anybody, right? Nuts, seeds, whole grains, okay? You may not know, but I'm 100% vegan personally. Now, I'm not trying to tell you to do that tomorrow, but look at the foods we're talking about. We're talking about plant foods here, okay? Cinnamon, and cinnamon is great to just add to things like oatmeal. Add them in your smoothies. Um, if you make something like pancakes, I love adding cinnamon to my pancake batter, right? Just different things like that, right? It's been long known that cinnamon um, helps with your blood glucose. Okay, so again, we're just talking about simple things. We're not making whole scale changes yet. We're just adding some natural things into our regular routine that can help with our glucose levels. Okay, aloe vera as well. Okay, here we go again. Now we're on Stanford Health here. So more natural things that we can do. Again, apple cider vinegar. This has been associated with also helping with weight loss as well. Um, but look here, 2 tablespoons before bedtime can help reduce your morning fasting levels, folks. Okay. Fiber and barley. I can't stress the importance of fiber enough, y'all. Okay. Fiber is they might as well go ahead and call fiber a superfood. I mean, there's fiber is awesome. Um, fiber literally goes out and I call them like heat-seeking missiles for fat and triglycerides and cholesterol in your body. They literally just go around saying, "Yo, what can I grab to get out of here, to get out of your system?" But fiber, can't stress it enough. And look, chromium pops up again, zinc, aloe vera pops up again, cinnamon pops up again. So again, these are simple things that we can add to our daily routine um, in order to help reduce our risk and severity of diabetes. Okay. Now, if we're looking to do whole scale change, and we're going to go ahead and get ready to wrap this thing up, um, let's see here. Trying to find my chat box here. Okay. But anywho, if if we're really trying to make whole scale changes here, um, here's some quick steps, and I'm going to highlight my favorites. Okay, because I don't agree with everybody. Everybody doesn't agree with me, but these are some great recommendations. Okay, and it's not coming straight from me. Look, I'm pulling it from somewhere else here. All right, so um, 5-step plan to reduce diabetes or reverse diabetes. Right. As we should already know, there's certain foods that negatively affect your blood sugar levels, right? Things that trigger inflammation as well, right? And these are added sugars, refined sugars, uh, fatty foods. We're talking dairy products, all that kind of stuff, right? So one of the first things you want to start getting rid of is refined sugar. Okay, anytime you look on the label and it says added sugar, all that kind of stuff, added sugar, syrup, and all that kind of stuff, you want to get rid of that. So this comes from things like soda, cookies, candy, cake, white uh, refined pasta, sugary cereals. The list goes on and on. So that's one of the first things you want to do. Now, if you look here, soda, um, fruit juice, it's not the worst thing in the world, okay? Let me tell you real quick. Like I told you before, I have done this with clients before, uh, where we've put them on a specific diet, and we have literally just dropped their blood sugar. And one of the things I always recommend is smoothies. And we're talking making smoothies with whole fruits and vegetables. And one of my recipes, I always use cranberry juice. It's 100% cranberry juice. And what you got to remember about the way your body works with juice, if it's combined with the fleshy parts and rich fiber, the fruit juice will not be a problem. Okay, so it's natural. okay? But we do want to make sure we're watching out for some of those other items that we mentioned, okay? Um, Avoid honey. No, I wouldn't do honey at all. I would stay away from Steve. I would stay away from all that. The best thing you can do is natural fruit and vegetables, or 100% juice mixed in with your fruits and vegetables. Don't necessarily drink it in glasses. The best thing you can do is drink water, okay? But um, certain grains, okay? So we're trying to stay away from those white bread, the white breads, the white rice, the white pastas, things like that, okay? Some people can be a little bit more susceptible to wheat, so you got to look out for that, okay? But the main thing here is making sure we're choosing the best types of grains here, okay? So quinoa, barley, oats. What else? What else? What else? Different red rice, black rice, um, those types of rice. All right. So that's another step. All right. Now this one's a big one. You got to get rid of this, y'all. Um, Getting rid of cow's milk will change your life. All right, hold up. Let me say this right directly into the camera. Let me get close to the microphone. There it is. Getting rid of cow's milk and dairy products will change your life. Okay? The list is so long. We don't have time for it today. Trust me. I will make videos about dairy later. But the list of things that dairy destroys and causes problems in your body, it's long. And diabetes is no different. Okay? Um, so it's and look, I don't agree with any of this at all right here. All right? When they're talking about coming from a goat or a sheep, no. No, 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 no. I don't care what animal it is, get away from drinking milk from another animal. Okay, and we'll talk about that later. But again, stay away from dairy. It triggers immune responses, it triggers inflammation, it spikes your blood sugar. You don't want it. Okay, alcohol, obviously. Do we really need to talk about that? You got to reduce your alcohol intake. That's goes without saying. All right. Look out for GMO foods as well. Um, yeah. Okay. Non-GMO, y'all. Come on, this is not anything new. All right. Be careful with that stuff. All right. And then also hydrogenated oils. Again, this is another one that you got to stay away from. Big deal. All right. So if you see hydrogenated oils on your food labels, and we're going to talk about that too. That's going to be we'll make a video about that too as well. How do you read food labels? You'll be surprised how much stuff they put right in front of you on a food label, and you have no idea that it was there. All right. And let's see what else. So what to incorporate again? Foods high in fiber. We talked about chromium already, magnesium, a lot of the same things. Okay. Now, in addition to these items, you definitely want to make sure that you're exercising regularly, and you definitely want to make sure that you are drinking water all the time, as much as you can. Okay. So again, some of the things that I've done with clients in the past is I've put them on plant-based diets. You want to get rid of meat if you can, period. We're not made to eat meat. It's not for us. All right. But whole foods, plant-based diets, lots of fiber, lots of many of the things that we talked about, and just watch your blood sugar. Okay, if you wake up tomorrow and say, "Hey, I'm going to start adding these herbs and these spices into my daily routine. I'm going to get away from all of the sodas and the candies and the cakes and all these refined grains. I'm going to stay away from fast food. I'm going to do all of these things because it's important to me, right, to save my money and to also save my life, right? So try it. Okay, see what happens. Give yourself a few weeks. I have seen in the past, I have seen blood sugars drop within a few weeks of just making these changes. And I've had clients cry, in on a call before because they're so happy because now they're not using all of this money, time, and energy and effort, and they're not destroying their bodies for a disease that can be treated naturally and can be prevented and reversed naturally. Okay, so Let's see if we got anybody for Q&A here real quick. Okay. All right. Now, and so these videos will be coming fast and furious. We'll be knocking them out regularly. I'm going to try to put together a nice schedule here so I can do these regularly because I got a lot that I want to tell y'all about. It's plenty that we need to know. So we will have a Q&A every time. No questions tonight, but no big deal. All right. Again, if you're new to the channel, please make sure you like and subscribe. If you check this video out later on the replay, please go to my channel, check out like and subscribe so you can always get notifications when I go live and I'm streaming. And I will check y'all out next time. Again, this is Charles Austin signing off. Make sure you're out there being fit forever.